Hi everyone, today I'm sharing with you a delivery from Cult Pens. They're an online shop here in the UK and they sell, as the title suggests, all sorts of pens as well as other art supplies. I tend to use them quite a lot because they have really good prices on pens such as the Copic pens, and they deliver really quickly. They deliver on, they send things out the same day you order and it comes the next day. So without further ado, let's have a look what's inside. Nice. Now, Cult Pens always send you some sweets, which is really nice. I love Haribos. Who doesn't love Haribos? Get rid of that. Okay, so what I have ordered are some spare brush nibs for. This is for the Copic sketch, but I use the Copic Chows. So I wanted to get some replacement nibs, and I believe that these will work in the Copic Chows. We'll soon find out. I also bought 3 of these Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. I bought Scarlet Red, Orange Glaze and Light Yellow Glaze. But my main reason for putting an order in with Cult Pens was I wanted to build up my collection of pastel colour Copics. Now, I know that you can buy a pack of pastel colours, but I kind of wanted to select my own because I've only got 3 at the moment. These are the three that I've got that they work really nicely as pastel colours. We've got B000, which is a pale porcelain blue. We've got Y11, and this colour is pale yellow. And we've got a colour here that is commonly used as a skin tone, quite popular as a skin tone, and that's R00, which is called pinkish white. So if I just show you what those pens look like on paper, I like to use Bristol board with my Copic pens because the laydown is really nice, and it's just such a nice paper to work on. So this R00 comes out like a really nice peach colour, pinky peach. I bought this blue colour after having bought a different Copic Chow, thinking it was going to be a pastel shade of blue, but actually it wasn't. It's really difficult when you're buying Copic pens to judge from the colour chart what they're going to be like. This is my chart of all my alcohol pens that I own so far, and this one here, B12, I think, is the one that I initially bought thinking it would be a really pale blue, but actually it wasn't as pale as I anticipated, so I then looked into getting an even paler one. I mean, this B000 that I've just used here looked so pale on the Copic chart online. It almost looked white, but those are the shades that you need to go for if you want a really pale pastel shade. If you're wondering what these other ones are, I have various alcohol markers. I've got Spectrum Noir, so a lot of these are Spectrum Noir ones. I've also got some cheap brands that I found purely by chance when I was in some cheap art stores. I've got a couple of markers from The Works here in the UK, and they're called tinge markers. And I've also got some markers that I bought in Tiger Stores UK, and they were They didn't actually say on the packaging that they were alcohol markers, so I bought them completely on a whim, thinking they look like alcohol markers, and as luck would have it, they were. So I don't actually have that many Copics. I haven't actually counted them, but I think I personally selected about 20 shades to start me off, and then I've been like building up my collection by buying cheaper brands. But I really wanted to get more Copics for my pastel collection because they really are gorgeous. So I also need to show you the Y11. As you can see, these are just really pale and oh, they're just gorgeous. I love them. So when I chose the ones, I found it really hard choosing what ones to buy, and I'm going to find out in a minute whether they actually do work as pastel shades. Let's have a look. I found it really hard choosing online because these shades, as I say, it's hard looking at the chart because they always come up differently to the official chart. So I found myself looking online to find where other people had done swatches on pieces of paper so that I could get a much better idea of what the colour would actually look like. It's still a bit hit and miss because obviously the quality of photos online can be very different to real life, but I took a risk. And well, this one certainly paid off. This one is R22 in a light prawn. I also bought a new colourless blender. I've already got one, but I tend to use my colourless blender for a lot more than just work with alcohol markers. I use it for blending colouring pencils, I use it for blending water-based markers. So I really wanted a spare one so that if I wanted to keep one for one medium and the other for another medium, then I could do that. BV31 is a pale lavender. Let's see what this one looks like. Yes, that's good. That's another pastel colour. Brilliant. This one here is Tea Orange. It is E95, another popular one for skin tones, but it's supposed to be quite a nice orange shade, so let's have a look. Yes, good. Sometimes there's a fine line between a pastel shade of orange and a pastel shade of pink, so I'm really glad that what was this one again? I'm really glad that the light prawn and the tea orange really are a different shade, so we've got pink here and orange there. This one is YG11 and it's called Mignonette. This one I bought because it was described as, well, it looked like quite a sort of a cross between grass and olive green sort of pastel shade. Oh, I love that. That's gorgeous. And lastly, I got this one, which is B60, which is a pale blue grey. I love grey shades, and I thought it would be really nice to try this one because as a sort of different shade of blue, although looking at the nib, it actually looks like it might be more of a mauve colour. But anyway, let's have a look. Ooh, that's quite similar, actually. That is very similar to this one here. This one is more watery looking, sort of more translucent, I'd say, which is really nice. I love using my grey Copics to start off my illustrations, especially when I'm doing pet portraits, because it's really nice to lay down the shades of light and shadows, and I build up from the lightest grey upwards. But this one would be really nice for shadows around the subject because it's got that tinge of kind of blue to it. So yeah, now they're drying, I can definitely see a difference. I thought they looked the same to start with, but you do have to wait for alcohol markers to dry a bit before you see what they really look like. So yeah, that's a gorgeous pale version of this, I'd say. So that's nice to have those two because I can use both of these shades when I'm building up my shadows and such. I'll also show you these pens. quite like that Copic colour there. That's nice. Travel. Watercolour brush. It's a Kalinsky Skoda Reserva in size 6, and this is a sable tip.